Today on the Marner podcast show, I've got our Jed Moss, owner, franchisee of Transform Hub. Which Transform Hubs do you own?
I've got Blackpool, Preston, Bamber Bridge and Bury.
Did you start off in the Blackpool one?
I did, yeah. Men's hub at first.
Right. What were you doing before that?
So, good question. Construction.
Really?
From leaving school at 16 all the way to 42.
All the way to 42?
42.
And what made that shift? Why did you go from construction to... Always into fitness?
So, what's that, sorry?
Always into fitness, were you?
No. And it's a strange one. I loved playing football, team sports, things like that. But I kind of had a thing of, when I was a kid, playing with like wrestlers and things like that was cool, like in the 80s, 90s. I kind of always wanted that body shape, and I thought I tried many times doing gyms, blah, blah, blah. Never could get anywhere close to it, so it's kind of, just didn't work for me, mustn't have the right genetics or...
Yeah. Ultimate warrior, fucking little coach.
Cool.
Like, yeah, I want to look like that, man.
I thought it was cool, when I was primary school, like, that is what, I was like, that, wanted to look like that, but, but you just thought that was kind of a superhero, and it was just, not real kind of a thing. So, like, tried many gyms, and just never stuck with stuff long enough. Yeah. Try it. Mate at work says, try this diet, such your body at my gym's trying this, or try that for a week, don't work. Then change to something else. So never really stuck by anything, but I never really invested into fitness, never really felt comfortable in a gym, if I'm honest. And I still think there's a lot of gyms out there now that are the kind where you walk in, you pay your money if you don't know what you're doing. Go on, so maybe just end up on a treadmill.
Yeah, just a number on
because you don't look stupid at a dumbbell rack or stupid doing something on a machine, and then you kind of just never get a chance to fit in there. And where we're going now is to try and break the stigma of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so from construction, when did your fitness journey start? When did you sort of like fully commit to...
James Calderbank changed my life.
Yeah, shout out to our James.
Yeah, shout out to James. Massive.
When did you meet James?
I did the 6-week challenge at Preston. I got forced into it. Like I never wanted to do the 6-week transfer. I'd seen the advert.
Yeah.
But
that's the problem, isn't it? It's like got such a stigma, 6 weeks transformation, and it's just like.
But at that time, like I'd been through a massive thing in my life, and I was in the pub all the time. I was in a bad place before I came to Melbourne.
Can we talk about that, Jed?
Yeah, we can get into it. Yeah. So
just tell me what happened. So
basically, 23rd of June to 23rd of December 2014. Kissed goodnight to my son. He was 14 years old, and went to bed as normal. Woke up in the morning to my missus absolutely screaming the house down. Got out of bed, and found out that he'd passed away in his sleep. So my reaction, never felt anything like that kind of shock before in my life. So my reaction at the time, I remember it quite vague, like quite vividly in my mind, just throwing up, like into the bathroom. I couldn't stop throwing up, like just random. Just my body didn't know how to deal with that. And he passed away with a suspected cardiac arrest in his sleep. It was like the worst thing I could ever imagine happening to me especially, but to anyone. And I just went off the rails, like literally, as in not down the road of drugs or anything, but alcohol, because I didn't know how to deal with it. Like I did not know how to deal with it. So like we went through all the process of the next few days getting through it, and I said, look, I was a big drinker at the time, not so I was getting drunk every night, but I'd always have 4 or 5 beers. I kind of felt like I needed it in construction just to relax, and that's what all my family had always done. We're like a family of that kind of thing. So where am I? Just lost my train of thought then. Oh yeah, so I was in the pot. I thought, right, I'm not going to drink. Well, I get through this, I can't drink because it's going to make me worse. So I stopped drinking. I went through all the process afterwards, supporting my wife and my son Lewis, and then I went to the doctor. They called me in like 6-7 days later. So I went to the doctor, and the doctors are like, yeah, I'm really, really sorry what you've been through, blah, blah. You get your 8 minutes still, as you do with anybody, because the NHS is busy, right? And the first thing he said, we're going to help you, Jed. We're going to get you put onto some antidepressants. This is going to help you. And straight away, I'm like, my head fell off. I'm like, I'm not having them. I don't want them. And I like broke down in there. I'm like, giving me a happy pill, is that's what I felt it would be, is not going to make me happy. It's not going to bring me back, so I don't want it.
Wow. So
I do not want a pharmaceutical drug in me that's going to make me happy, because I couldn't see how it could possibly work. So I just sort of sneak back into drinking over the next few months, and then 2 years of just like 5-6 days a week, 4 or 5 pints after work every day. And then my wife reached out to the business partner and she's like, you need to get him doing something, get him back to the gym. And bless him, Wes, he got me to go. We went, and as soon as I was walking down the path to the hub, just James coming out and greeting us was like nuts. Like, I just felt, wow, this is amazing. Like, he's looking forward to me coming. I didn't have to walk in and try and make myself like it. He came out to me and greeted me. And just straight away, as much as I didn't want to be there, I felt like I needed to be there, if that makes sense.
Like the universe, whatever it is.
Just weird. It just felt like I needed to be there at that time. And I went through getting the pictures. I've got the pictures on there. It was the miserable thing getting my pictures because I didn't want to get my shirt off. I had like a dad bod and a beer belly and all that carry on. And James just inspired me with what he was saying to me at that time, and I stuck with it. I lost like 3/4 of a stone. I wasn't a big guy. I lost like 3/4 of a stone in 6 weeks, and like I just knew I had to stay there. Like, I was just being round guys that weren't asking me like about, am I all right? They were just being themselves.
Yeah.
And every one of them guys that's in the hub, and still now, they just need to be better themselves. They don't want to be around negativity. They just want to be their best self. And when everybody's telling me, you're doing well, you can do this, we're going to get you there. Guess what? They get there. Or the majority of guys do. So I went from client to ambassador. James said, can you get involved, helping with welcome meetings? Inspire people. You are just being here. You're inspiring. So I went from that and I thought, do you know what? I need this in my life. So I get me level 2, level 3 PT. Started doing them.
Ever think in your head at some point you're going to be a PT?
No. Because I couldn't see then how I could possibly support my family by doing that, because I did the first 6 months for free. I didn't want a penny. I was doing like 2 sessions in the morning, then going to work for 9 hours, running a business, then going doing 2 sessions at night. And all my fun in my life, I realised then, was that be morning and evenings, the middle of the day. I didn't want to be there anymore.
Do people often get you wrong because you're quite, aren't you? You're quite a force.
Yeah.
But they don't realise how caring and sort of nurturing you are, because you've got that sort of, haven't you, that dynamic about you.
Yeah, and do you know what? I love trying to inspire people, but I don't know why I inspire people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I just like being myself.
I think it's just your energy, mate. You've just got this like magnetic energy, I think, that goes to other people. Like.
Yeah, and I just love seeing other people getting wins. There's nothing better for me than seeing. I don't look at myself, like, I love fitness. Every day I have to train. I train 6-7 days every day religiously. That's my church in the gym.
Yeah.
You know, and when I'm in the gym, the people I train with, I've got about 4 or 5 people I'm close with training. They're the people I choose to be around in life, because if I wouldn't have them with me at that point. That training's my church, and it sort of sets me up for the day, and then it's just it's fantastic. But the hub started it all off, right? I still do hub sessions. I still jump in with clients now and do burpees with them and all that stuff, and I love it. You know, when you see somebody saying, I lost 1.5 kilos last week, I'm like, good for you, mate, good for you. And yeah, I've got lads that have lost 8 stone in 12 months. It's nuts, it's nuts. And they're inspiring to me. I've lost a couple of stone and put a little bit of muscle on. Wow. They've lost 8 stone. They've got out of habits they've been doing for 20, 30 years. Yeah. Bullied at work, bullied at school. And all of a sudden they're doing Total Warrior with us, 12-kilometre assault course. And like, they're getting the t-shirt and picture, and I'm crying next to them because I'm like buzzing for him that much. Do you know? It's just like amazing to be part of people's journeys. The horribleness what I've been through in my life, that helps me, because that knife's always in there. When I talk about it, it's like somebody twisting it a bit and it starts to make me well up, but then wins for other people kind of like reverse that and take it out a bit so I can deal with it. And I used to beat myself up for the first couple of years, like, why has this happened, and how tight is it, and how can there be a God, and how can anybody do this to him? Not had a drink in his life, never touched anything, just a good kid. But now I changed my mindset to being thankful for 14 amazing years with him. And that's what gets me through. Because it's all we all have sorrow, we all have horrible things in our lives. The amount of people I talk to and say, Jed, I lost my mum a couple of weeks, I've not been able to come to the gym. I know it's not like what you've been through. I'm like, it is what I've been through. This is your life. Don't feel sorry for me. Do you know what I mean? I was like, come here and give them an hug and like, good for you, mate. You know, you're getting back in now, we're going to smash it this year. Look after yourself and everything else will look after itself, you know.
How do you do that, Jed? How do you go from that to like putting gratefulness in your life? How do you change that?
I just think, for me, it's just the people I surround myself with. Like, literally, I have to be around positive people now. Yeah. I can't abide. Like, obviously, I mean, I've got something like, we've got 850, 900 members over a few gyms now, and not everybody's loving life, especially at the start of the journey. But you try and take that negativity out. Like, I don't want to talk negativity. Like, if somebody's saying to me, no, the weather's miserable outside and I'm sick of this cold, I'll listen to it, but then I'll change the subject straight away. I don't want to get drawn into that. Because like Christmas this year, we've had another, we have like a curse at Christmas, we call it. I don't let it bother me, but this year, like, we went to Mexico in November. We went with, we're best friends. We lived on Vancouver Island for 3 years, 10 years ago, whatever, in Canada. And we meet them all the time. We go backwards and forwards. Anyway, we met them in Mexico, and she's had a bit of a rough year with bits of cancer scare. So we went on this holiday. We were having fun, pool bar, tequila shots, you name it. Within 8 days of coming home for that holiday, she wasn't here anymore. They went home, she was getting headaches on that holiday, went home, they found multiple tumours in her brain, and she's gone now. And I'm just like, wow, life's too short to try and be negative. So like, we seem to have a bit of a curse. My wife's stepdad passed away the same day, just before Christmas this year, and it's just like, wow, somebody don't want me to enjoy Christmas nowadays. But I can't let it drag me down. I'll go down and I'll deal with it. Yeah. And then I've got to lift myself straight away. You get back to that gym and you get your head back in the game, because what you can't change, I can't change, and I'll move on. What I can change, I will change. One thing, you know, I pick up from people now, if I have an issue with something, if I need to talk to you, I need to talk to you. I can't let it spew in my mind for 2-3 days. Beautiful, because that's all I can think about.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Communication, just getting it out and not dwelling on it, going down a rabbit hole with stuff and just getting it out and just like fucking hell, like stories you tell in your head.
Yeah, you start thinking.
And just by talking to someone else, it's just like, okay, now, what the fuck was that about?
But yeah, and exactly, how many times do you have that awkward conversation at the end, you have a big hug and you're glad that's gone now. Boom, why didn't we talk about that 2 days ago? Yeah. So now I don't let things dwell, I just get things done, like, you know, and it works for me.
Yeah, you know, I think when James met, he's do this Transform Hub and like 6-week transformation. I'm just thinking, I fucking don't want to get involved in this. But then obviously if you start talking to you and met all the franchise and met yourself, and so just like, it's fucking nothing to do with that. It's got absolutely nothing to do with it before and afters. Before and afters for me, it's just like nonsense. I think it should be before and before.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, you're starting again, which is like doing it never stops this. You kind of, and seeing the energy behind people and everybody elevating each other up, I'm like, that's why you should be doing group fitness classes. That's why I do group fitness classes.
Yeah.
Is to elevate each other up.
Exactly, and you're in a community, you're in a big family. Like when people come in and get results, I want them to stay forever. It's not about the money, it's not about trying to tie them down, it's about making people feel like they belong, because it made me feel like I belong. Like 99.9% of my friends now are hub members or franchisee owners or part of the business, because it's that positive vibe. I have to have it. It's addictive.
Yeah, it's like being part of something bigger than yourself, innit? It's like a fucking lonely place on your own, innit? Yeah,
it is a lonely place on your own. Yeah, and it's nice to have that, you know, backup where you can just call people and multiple people, and before you know it, you're feeling good again. You're like, why was I thinking like that?
Just tell me the journey then. So you bought Point Le Fly, Blackpool.
Yes.
So go on, you got that, you gone from a PT to becoming an ambassador to, how was that? Wow.
So I went from an ambassador to a PT.
What's an ambassador?
So an ambassador is like an in-between from client to PT. So what we do is like, For instance, and we'll get ambassadors on. Somebody who just loves it, loves the whole ethos of what you're doing. So we'll get them in and say, right, do you fancy being an ambassador? Well, yeah, what's involved? So just help the lads weigh in, give them nutrition advice. And when I say give them nutrition advice, I don't know anything about it myself. I'm like, are you kidding me? You've lost 2 stone in 2 months. You're an absolute guru on nutrition. Yeah. I said, so don't lie to people. Tell them what you're doing. Yeah. If it works for you, it works for them. We all look into it too deeply, like, what do I need to eat? And I need to weigh every grain of rice and all that. It's not true. It is.
What do you tell people about nutrition yourself? Like, is it individualized for each person, or have you got a set way that Jed does it that you tell people?
So we put everybody in a kind of default at start. So like somebody says, well, I hate chicken, then we'll obviously change it. But we need them to get used to being in certain times to eat more than anything else, because you get some people just eat breakfast and then they don't eat till evening meal. Some people snack all day, some people don't eat till mid-afternoon. But you've got to get the balance of meals spread out through the day and just real foods. The big thing now, supermarkets are full of protein puddings, protein bars, protein this, and guess what? You do need protein in every meal pretty much.
Not from that.
But you just need real food, and if that helps and it's good for a snack, then yeah, have it. Because it's definitely better than eating half a pack of custard creams. But it's just being better, being honest. And I think when you're in the start of the journey, as long as people are getting results, the more they get into it, the more they realise, the better they get. And then you just answer the questions they ask as they're going along. People say to me, right, what do you eat? Can I do the same? But if you're 25% body fat and you're after fat loss, and I'm currently trying to put a bit of muscle on, I can tell you what I eat, but it's not going to work for you, that. It's too many calories. But it's kind of too much knowledge for them at that time. It would have been for me. I just need to get told what I need to do to get to this body fat, get some rubbish off, get a decent foundation, and then, right, can I eat? Yeah, let's get you eating. But that doesn't mean you can have 20 pints every weekend with your mates again. That's bad calories. Yeah. But I'm a big believer, if like the lads we train, average age of a guy I train is about 48. Yeah. Have a beer at weekend if that's what you're done to do.
Just get a balance.
But you just got to be honest. Like, I don't want you to stop. There's no point in being like Ned Flanders with a 6-pack, working in your garden on your own, and all you want to do is go out with your mates. Because guess what? You're just going to go one day not doing this anymore. It's not worth doing. Yeah. So I just try and work with each person as an individual, if you will. But when you've got 800 whatever clients, then to a certain extent you've got to have, which the hub does. It has like a default. You go
like a foundational.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then as people develop through the fitness, then I'll take them more on. This is what you can do extra and stuff like that.
Just like dilating for different people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you got that. You became an ambassador, amazing ambassador, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Right? Inspiring the shit out of people. And then what happened? What was the...
So it's funny. So James is like, you should own a hub. And I'm like, right.
Imposter syndrome kicking in.
Yeah. How's this going to even work type thing? But yeah, well, let's think about it. And it was funny. They came, like, James laid it all out one day with Wendy. And all of a sudden... I've got a unit and I'm opening it up and I've got about 3 pieces of A4 how to run a franchise.
Are you spiritual in nature, Jed? Are you kind of universe? There's something bigger.
Yeah, I do believe
things happen
that.
For a reason.
Yeah.
So were you just trusting the process here and kind of going, I'm just going to ride this way?
Yes, it felt right.
Right.
It felt right.
And have you ever done that before in your life?
No, because I was obsessed. When I was in the building trade, I was...
OCD, like fucking, you'd be in control of everything.
Yeah, and I wanted... Yeah, right, and that's what I learned in business, right? When I was in the construction trade, I truly believed, and I get laughed at by some of the lads who used to work with me, but I truly believed I was the best tradesman. And a lot of people about me, it was good. If I was going to work...
Because you always do your best, don't you?
If I'm going to do a job at your house, if it's not good enough for me, then it's definitely not good enough for you.
Yeah.
So... that were my ethos in the construction, but I built a company that couldn't work without me.
Yeah.
And if I was there every day, it felt to me like nothing was getting done.
Standards.
Yeah, and probably not completely right with that, but I built up something that couldn't work. So we couldn't grow because it was just like, well, I can't trust anybody to do the job. It's crap when I'm not there type thing. So the big thing what we learned at the hub was like, look, if you think you're the best coach, you're crap at hiring. Why don't you hire better coaches than you? Why would you want to be the main man there? You can have the right drive and the right ethics, but I have people that are better than you at different jobs.
What you want.
And then you can grow.
Yeah.
So we went to Hyatt, like basically from the first up, and James was just awesome. We didn't really have it. He was just started the franchise. It was an idea, but he's just on the phone to me every day. It was amazing. Like, he taught me through everything. We went through every process. I went about 10 months. We had probably 120, 130 like small group members there, all on long-term plans. And he's like, why don't you take Preston on as well? I'm thinking, I don't really know what I'm doing here. Now, you're still running this. And I'm just the face of it. But I thought, yeah, why not? Let's do it. So we took Preston on, and then, yeah, we're 2.5 years in now, and we did have 5, but we've not downgraded to 4. We've just put 2 gyms into one and made it combined, because the community's better for the mixed gyms at the moment. You know, why separate men and women?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They work great together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're still growing, and the only thing really that's slowing up growth this year is that I need the team to be up to speed. I don't want to put the people I've got working with me and for me under any more pressure, because like I'm doing 12, 14 hour days at the moment, and it's not like in the construction. I'm not on the tools all day, but it's just like, can you sort this out? And then answering messages at night, and like yesterday I was on sales for 4 hours, and I don't mind it. I love it. Like, I love working.
Yeah.
You know, it's nuts. I love it. My missus goes mad. She makes me turn the phone off like sometimes at weekends now, because I'll just get a message, just check it. Yeah. But I've never really had a job like this, a job career that I physically love doing. I love it, you know, and yeah.
So you got Port Flight.
So Blackpool. So the
Blackpool.
One, yeah, I got
Preston.
Blackpool, then Preston.
Yeah.
And then we went on to Bamber Bridge.
How did that come about?
The franchisees weren't having the best time at that gym. They were struggling a little bit.
Right, so that was a transform already?
Yes.
Right, okay.
And it wasn't really working. Just the fact that they bought it as an investment, the people that was in there, and they weren't spending any time on it. They just got staff and said, right, run it. And the staff obviously didn't have as much care about it as the owner. So it went to a stage where it wasn't worth them doing it. So we stepped in and went, do you know what? Do you want to get rid of it? Because if you took membership money off clients for 6
so you decided
months,
to go in with
Gary.
With Gary, sorry.
Yeah, and Gary's awesome. Like,
Why Gary? Why did you choose?
Because he's like,
because you've not done that before. Going into now you're in.
No, and I swore I'd never do a partnership again, because I'd not had great experiences with it in the past. And not
because of your trust issues. The way you.
Because of me, nothing else, just me.
Yeah.
So I like to be the leader of the ship.
How did you get over that?
I just realised that over the last couple of years, it's not about me anymore. You know, it's not about me. There is people out there much better at every part of it than me when it comes.
Was
to
that a gradual thing, or did you have a moment where you?
It was the change in my life. It was this losing my son that basically changed everything. Out my ethos to life.
Life short as fuck.
Yeah, because I don't like people who know me, especially my missus and stuff, know that I have no respect for money. No respect for money. Because it doesn't matter, because I'd have spent £10 million in debt to see one more day with my son. So what's getting a gym, and if it don't work, what you lost? Money. Yeah. Just get it again. Still got 4 more if one don't work, so then we'll work out why it didn't work and we'll open another. So I don't have... And it's probably not very... I'm not sensible. Right. It's like
still
this year.
To this day?
Yeah, I drive, like I love my cars, right? I've got a Porsche, absolutely love it. It's not a fancy Porsche, it's a Cayman S, I absolutely love it. I want a 911, but it's part of where I'm going to the next few years. I want a 911 Turbo S, I want it more than anything else, and I'll get it. We've just got to work out how I'm going to get it and how long it's going to take me. But I'm not a material person when it comes to houses. Like, I just live in a 3-bedroom semi in Walton-le-Dale. That's all I need. I've got a great house, but it's the cars I love.
It's all right. That's all right, though, isn't it?
But it goes back to being a kid
it's for
again,
you, though,
playing with little cars.
Yeah, it's for you, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's for you. It's not for other people.
No, and it's good. And, you know, going back a little bit, like, when I ended up in the building trade because of having older brothers. Like, my older brothers were my heroes. So one of my brothers is 9 years older than me, other one's 7 years, and they were cool. Like in the 80s when Al Wiedersehen Pet's on TV. I'm 48 by the way, so you know, how old are you?
50.
So
Well,
you'll know
I'm
Al
50,
Wiedersehen Pet and all that. So like it was cool in the 80s. At school I wanted to be a builder. My brothers are like driving 4x4 trucks. They're wicked, they're cool. I don't need to do exams because I'm going to be a builder. It's like, what a loser I'm thinking of myself now when I were years ago. But at the time it was cool, right? So one of my brothers, Chris, he is like a super. He's awesome. His skills, he can like give him a pile of timber and he'll build a kitchen. He's not the kind of person who needs to have it flat packed and all that. He's just unbelievably talented. And then my other brother Pete is the hardest grafter I've ever worked with and for.
So they've been your sort of role models and that work ethic.
My work ethic's from my brother Pete because it's just like he's the coolest dude ever when I was a kid. And I'm here now because of that, because the work ethic's in me. I love it. You know, I didn't at the time. When I was an apprentice working for him, he used to give me loads of grief, like on my back all the time. But I thank him massively for that now because I am what I am because of that.
The interesting on the partnership thing though, mate, for the person that you have gone from this. Look, I can only imagine, mate, just from meeting you a couple of times, your fucking standards on shit and the way you do it. Yeah, that's the type of people I love around me. But then to take a business partner on is this person going to have the same work ethic as me? How am I going to drop that? I don't know if it is ego, but it's a set of standards that are really fucking people expectations of people. How do you drop that?
Gary's everything I'm not. So when it comes to KPIs and tracking systems and spreadsheets, I am like a 60-year-old bloke. It takes me forever to make a spreadsheet. I end up getting frustrated with it, and I'll do everything on paper and work from a
So you
pad.
knew you needed that in your life?
Yeah. I need whiteboards and pads, mate. But I needed to grow. I needed a Gary, ultimately. You know, we've been partners now for just a few months, but like he's on it. He's on it as much as me. He's messaging me at 4 a.m. We're still talking at 10 o'clock at night sometimes. So we work. We've got the same ethic when it comes to work. But he's not really a front of house person. He doesn't want to be. He loves the numbers. He loves the figures. He loves what we've got to achieve every month. He works that side out. I deliver it to the staff, and it just works fantastic. The first part of this partnership is everything I'd wanted, and probably a little bit more.
But the common factor you've got with it is that you're both really, really caring of other people, aren't you?
Yeah.
Where you're, a little bit more like, and he's a bit, but that common thing, the important bit, is that we really care about people.
Yeah. And just love people having a fantastic experience in fitness. That's why I did quite a bit of one-to-one in at first, but it's not really for me.
Yeah.
I love a group of people all laughing and like an atmosphere in a gym and music, and they're all training together and high-fiving each other at the end and going out of there thinking, that's amazing. And, you're a coach. Like, for hub coaches, for me, when I hire them, you can have a bachelor's degree, you can have all that carry on, but I'm not really interested in that. I want somebody who can entertain. Like, they have to be a good coach, they have to be an amazing coach, but it's more about personality than it is a CV. Like, I look at a CV thinking, great, right, let's move on to this part first, and then we'll go back to that. Because we've got some amazing staff, and some of my best PTs that work for us currently are members, just like me, that have come through, loved it. They have other jobs and they come in as part-time. They're just fantastic at what they do because they know what they want. They know what a good session is. They know how to get people motivated. And like, I just used to pinch people ideas off different PTs. I love what he does there. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use it. And then you make your own, persona, if you will, and put that out. But yeah, Gary's a good bloke, and we're gonna do plenty of things together over the next few years with these gyms, because I'm not finished. And I was saying to the girl in reception,
Betty,
I was saying there, she's like, oh yeah, do you think how many gyms you're gonna get? I said, well, who knows? I'm open to anything, but it doesn't mean that this is my calling yet either, because I've still got stuff I want to do in life. This might be something to do forever. It might not.
What is that?
I don't know, like, I like doing different stuff. I like stepping out of that comfort zone. Like, in 2011, we went over, I had family in Canada, just contacted them out of the blue and thought, do you know what? I want to emigrate. And within 8 months, we're in Canada. We're living in Vancouver Island in a little place called Nanaimo. Got, bald eagles, bears, whales on your doorstep, and we were there for 2.5 years, and I absolutely loved it. But the only thing that brought me back was missing things you thought you were when you actually weren't. But
Like
I kind of...
What do you mean by that?
Well, they don't really have pubs and that there, and at that time was still in construction, and going to the pub was a big thing, and it blew my mind. You're going down into town there at night, and on a Friday night, and there's like a sports bar, and I always remember this with coffee shops, there's a sports bar and there's a Starbucks, and I'm driving past and I stopped at this red light and looking in, I'm like, Starbucks, there's not a seat, there's a massive queue for things, there's a sports bar there with all the screens up with sports going, there's about 3 people in there, and I'm like, these guys are backwards, like, what, if this were England now, that'd be packed and this would be empty, but guess what? They were in front of us.
Yeah.
You know, we're going that way now. I'd rather be in a coffee shop than a pub.
Yeah.
The only thing that gets me in pubs nowadays is spend time with my brothers and friends. That's it. I realised about 12 months ago that they're not really the place I need to be anymore. I don't get anything out of it apart from the people, close friends I've had for a long time, and it'll always be part of them. But you kind of move on, in a certain way, in certain ways, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think that's... It's a good point, that, isn't it? It's just that's what I like about the hub. It's just you see everybody training at the end, everybody's kind of talking, and that communication and that community. Everybody just kind of, if they have got a problem, then someone, have you tried this? And that's what you used to do in pubs. You sit with your mates and that. You just kind of putting the world to rights.
Yeah, and that's what I say to lads now. Like, I've got a coffee machine. Just have a stand around talking after session and stuff. And we do like loads of events over the years, like Tough Mudders, Total Warrior. We do our own events, we do like high rock style events at our gym. But I try and do something so every member can be part of it.
Yeah.
And set something up so whether it's your first week in the gym, you can still get something, you still win a little medal for just doing it. I love that. I love people feeling amazed of getting something for...
Have you always been a people person, right from day dot, like?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. I've always been able to talk.
Even in the construction industry, there was like a caring nature about you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I just like meeting new people. And I got lots of friends that we've done jobs for over the years, and I've done tons of house extension stuff in my local area, and all good. Yeah. And
is it brutal, the construction industry, from trusting people and always getting had over by different people and stuff?
Yeah, and it's the thing. What got me out of it was it got kind of hard at the end, as in. People not, because you're a builder expecting, I don't want to pay that, can I just pay cash? Right. And then it gets to the end of the job, right, I'll transfer you the money. You're can't do that, you don't want to pay that. Not that we should be talking about this on here, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How it works. But what killed me at the end, it kind of got really cutthroat, certainly around where I lived, because I'd price a job, say, on an extension, I'd say, right, I'd work it out, there's 30 grand worth of materials, so 25 grand worth of labour, right, 55, so 60 grand will cover us in case anything happens untoward. You'd go, you put your price in, and then week after, oh sorry, you've not won the job, we'll give you a go. And if you don't mind me asking, what did he end up doing it for? 41 grand. I'm like, there's 30 grand worth of materials in that job. You can't possibly do it. So you get lots of that in the industry where they'll start a job, they get so much money, and then 3/4 way into the job and go, we've underpriced it, you'll have to give us some more money or your job don't get finished. So,
and they know it, they're doing it.
Yeah, and I've never been able to be that person where I'm thinking that and we just need this job, let's tell them that, because you got to live with it, you got to have karma in your life.
Yeah.
So
it's the same thing that's happening with us with photography at the minute. It's there's so many, nothing wrong with them. Kids picking up a camera, doing a shoot for the mate, and then now the professional photographers, and they're charging fucking absolutely kind of nothing. But our prices are, because there's so much time and thinking and planning to make sure that everything's perfect, and you just you can't compete with it, and it just it's lost my love a little bit for it. And we love doing photography, but you lose your love for it, and you just I don't think I really want to market this anymore. It's gone a little bit for us.
Yeah, it gets you down. It gets you down. That's what we found. We were having to do jobs cheaper, cut that bit of profit margin in case things get down wrong, and then you're doing jobs for nothing, and then just fell out of love with it. But I never really liked it for the last 15 years, and it was just do you know what, any excuse to get out. So,
what were you like as a kid? What was you like as little Jed? What was he like?
I suppose a cheeky little get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just close fights and was just fast to get away. So I just started lads who could back my mouth up, if you will. But yeah, just a good kid. I was never into anything bad, never into smoking, anything like that. I just loved playing football. Probably quite naive, you know, like just a standard kid.
But just no aspirations for you, what you're doing, like you're just kind of just flowing with life.
No, actually, do you know what as well? When we did that, we was talking outside about when we did them million takes, when we had to just read 5 lines off a card when you got into the and on the 900 to still failed on it, we had to give up on it. It took me back to being in English at school.
Did it?
Yep.
Standing up.
Right, Jeremy, it's your turn to read, and you stand up, and then you, and I just sounded like, and then everybody laughing at me, and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore, and then I start nicking off English, and it's just never liked that experience, and it kind of brought that back to me when we did that ad.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. So if I'm on my own and I just know what I've got to say, but I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's a dyslexic thing, I don't know. But if you give me something to read, and it might only be 4 lines, if I have to read them and do them, I'm either like a robot or I just can't get them out. I'll like miss one letter out and then beat myself up about it. Yeah. So like, it's funny that obviously we did that ad, and Gemma's put it together now, hasn't she?
Yeah.
And it's got about 10 takes in it where I'm just like, start again. And in the end, it's like, this is Jed from Transform Hub, terrible at adverts, fantastic at body transformations. It's like so true.
Perfect. It's so good, that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I just think if we did like a movie on me, if not that there ever would be, but it'd just be all about bloopers, and you might get one scene on the credits at the end where it got it right.
But that's why you're not. I mean, to me, mate, like, how would you define success? What does success look like to you?
Getting up in the morning and enjoying what you do.
Yeah.
Ultimately, enjoying what you do. And if you're wishing you was doing something else, then do it. Like, I could have switched without that massive thing happening in my life, but I chose not to. You know, I chose to just carry on and hate it and moan about I didn't like winters, and I always had too much negativity in my life. And you know, if you're going through life just looking forward to holidays and that's what you do, I can't wait, I'm going to Spain in 6 months. You need to look at your life and just go, do you know what? It doesn't have to be like this. But I think with how easy it is to get into debt and stuff nowadays, that people get wrapped up where they have to have X amount of money exactly on time every month, or that's it. So I'm doing this for the next 40 years of my life. I can't stand it, but that's horrendous, isn't it?
Horrendous, isn't it?
Yeah, horrendous.
When you really think about it.
Yeah, and it could have been me that, but because something massive happened in my life, all of a sudden that's an easy thing to do. Well, why do you even think about this? Because if you're a grafter, you'll always earn money.
Yeah.
You know, I consider myself, I could go into pretty much any industry and be able to do a role of some kind and earn my what I need to do in there. Because I like work. But I like work what I like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Do you feel like you found your purpose, and that's why?
100%, yeah. We're working with people and changing lives. There's no better feeling than like to say somebody comes up to you.
Powerful thing that to say, isn't it? You change people's lives. Oh, what do you do? I change people's lives. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And it's not, and it's people need massive change. So it's just funny, like I signed a guy up last night, came in for like an induction, and I was doing it because one of the staff said at the moment. So comes in, and I'm like, right, let's get your booking out, we'll get you weighed in, went through all of it, and I like doing it. It's great to meet him, it builds a relationship. And he's like, right, I'm struggling with this on my phone. So the guy stepped back 10 minutes. I don't know why I'm not in great shape. It's like, I eat well, I don't drink a lot, but I was like, right, well, you know, you're 18 stone, like, you'll look better at 13 times. They didn't say that to him, but that's what I'm thinking. So it's like, I'll help you with your phone. So we opened his email up, and he's just got a 25% discount voucher from McDonald's. And then we're flicking through apps, so it's downloading. It's just the app's right next to a KFC app. And I'm just like, and he's like, oh yeah, sorry. I said, well, you don't need to lie to me, mate. It don't matter. I've been crap. I used to drink too much. I used to eat crap. But you kind of don't want people to see in certain times of your life, don't you? You might know you're doing something, but you don't necessarily want other people to see that, you know. But
it's powerful, that, mate, innit?
Yeah.
You're coming in and, like, you know, people have got this mask on, haven't they? They don't really want to admit it, but, you know, being with someone like you helps you take that mask down to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Innit? Yeah. To kind of say, look,
And guys, like, when they come in and they're not in good shape, and I was that guy, like, when you put the before pictures on their app, and they're like, oh, I don't really want to do this first picture. I'm like, mate, you need to do this. This is what's going to stop you going back. If you don't like where you are now, you've got to remember this. Because in 6 months' time, when you're 2 stone lighter or 3 stone lighter, and you happen to fall out with gym a bit and you get busy at work, you need to be able to open that up and go, I ain't going back to that. Because when you look at yourself every day, you don't really notice the changes. Yeah. It just happens, doesn't it?
Look back to see how far you've come.
Yeah. And I think I don't ever really focus on weight with guys either. I want people to get out of showers, look at themselves and go, I'm happy with that. Yeah. I'm 50 and I look good. Yeah. There's nothing better. Don't matter about weight. It's all what it's made up of, muscle mass, body fat percentage. But just being happy in your own skin. Some people just want a flat stomach. Some people aren't even bothered about that. They just want to lose their 19 stone. They want to get to 17 stone. Some people want to get a six pack. Some want to get more muscle. But it's all available. But you've just got to start being better than you are now today. And then that comes.
Does somebody come to you and say, look, Jed, this is what I want, and you instantly go, it's not really what you want, that, and then in your head you think, I need to give you what you need. Does that make sense? It's like someone's come in with like an unrealistic thing of, this is how I see myself.
Yes.
God, my God, it breaks my heart sometimes when people taking selfies like 50 times just to put one on and they're not comfortable in their own thing. How do you get through to someone like that?
Well, it's hard because I'm not that person either. So I got some thought. What got me into being a PT? James got me ripped basically. I got a six pack. Always wanted to know my life like, and touch wood, I've had one for the last 5 years. It's my thing. I like it. Yeah. But at the start, we didn't even talk about six packs because I didn't believe I could get one. Yeah. So I just want to lose a bit of weight. I just don't want me beer belly James like one. And then all of a sudden you're like, right, what if I could get this? And then that grows on to when you realise you can get anything from your body, you know, and getting lean's easy. So I just lost my train of thought then, what were you saying?
It's just like how you get past someone's mask and they come on, you know what I mean, they're coming in, mate, and even though they are inside, they're hurting and they're insecure, but they come in with a mask on. It's like, how do you take that mask off and they're coming in, look, I want to do this.
Yeah, well, that's just time me. That's what I was getting to with that. So like at the time I had that mask on, I wanted a six pack, but I truly didn't believe I had one in me. It just isn't in me to ever get one. So at first you're just like, I just want to lose a bit of weight, I just want to feel a bit better, I want to be able to get my shoes on easier, things like that. That's what you get with stand with our guys. But then all of a sudden they realise, like I've got a guy, Pete, at my Blackpool gym, he's done, there's a couple, him and his missus, he's done 8 stone off, and I think it's probably took him 14 months, and his missus has done 10 stone in 12 months.
Me.
Yeah, and we met Pete, I think in November, not last year, the
That's
year
changing
before.
someone's life, that,
yeah. He's a PT now, so he's got a really high-end job he has. Like, he's on big money, but he's a PT as well. He's come through our ranks, and he just does what he can, like, because he's busy. But he'll do, like, Friday mornings, couple of sessions, whatever. But he's more inspiring than anybody that's got all the degrees in the world to me. Yeah. He truly knows how to do it. Like, the other day, he'd done a 7-hour drive down to Nottingham and back, and done a day's work, got home and done a 5k run when he got home. That's commitment. Would I have done that? Probably not, but he did. It's like, you amaze me. So they've lost 18 stone between them, and just over 12. And when I first met Pete, he was like, he'd lost the stone, I think, in the first 6 weeks, and he come to the Christmas day, and just got on with him straight away. Just a great guy, nothing bad to say about people, all positive. And his missus is like, yeah, it's not for me, that gym and all that. And she surpassed him and flaming. And she's a machine, Lisa.
That's the bit that I'm interested in. That person that says, oh, it's not for me, and then they kind of do it. How did you get past that?
It just comes in people, doesn't it? I think it's self-belief. It's just like, at first, you just don't believe you're
So her husband's inspired her to do it?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. He has. We've inspired him, he's inspired her, and then now she's at the Fleetwood Transform Hub.
Inspiring
she's like
other people.
One of the main coaches there, inspiring. And Pete's with us, and he does a bit there as well. And they're just, them two alone are just like, this is what we can do.
What's the one story that's like really it on with Jed more than any other story, would you say?
With clients?
Yeah.
There's so many. That's the biggest one when it comes to weight loss. I've got another guy at Wafal Gym called Paul. Paul has, I don't exactly know what the illness is, but I think he was born with water on the brain. He came to the hub first time, and he won't mind me saying this, Paul Simons. He came to the hub, and we have like an in-body scanner in there where you stand on it, you have 2 handles, and it gives you body.
How much are them bad boys?
5K, something like that. But what that does is it takes away the weight. We can focus on body fat percentage, muscle mass, physical fat.
That's the problem, mate, isn't it? In this day and age, people focusing so much on the weight.
Yeah. You can say, right, I just want to get to 11 stone, Jed. That doesn't mean you're going to look good at 11 stone. You might look gaunt, skinny. Oh, I don't like this now. I need to put some weight on. So there's no common sense in that.
Yeah.
So the in-body scanner takes away that. So he gets Paul on there. And I'm downstairs doing the talk, and Kylie, one of my main coaches at FAL, she's weighing the lads in upstairs, and Paul could not stand on that machine on his own without falling off, and she's like, Jed, day after, he's great, that Paul guy, but I don't think we can train him. He's not going to be up to it. Like,
what did you feel in that moment when she said that?
And I'm like, shit, because whatever she says, she's like an awesome coach. I'm like,
yeah.
So I'll tell you what, I'm in tomorrow and he's on this session. I'm going to do this session. I'm going to mention anything to Paul. I'm going to take him through and we'll see how he is.
What are you thinking, Jed? What are you feeling in that moment?
I want it to work for him. With all my heart, I wanted him to be at that gym. I wanted him to be, because I'm thinking this is a real, like, if we can help Paul, then we've cracked it type thing. But if his disability is going to make it
this
dangerous,
is probably Paul's only shot here.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
In it?
Only shot. I truly believe that. Anyway, so he does all right. I have to change 50-60% of the session, but that's what we do at the hub. It's like if somebody can't do something, they're getting back pain, they're getting knee pain, well, we just change it. There's no problem. Everybody deserves to be in there, and we'll just do stuff for them. So gets into the session, and I'm like, right, yeah. I'm 60-40, he's going to be all right. So I speak to Cal, I said, look, we need to give him a chance. We've got to give it. He deserves it. Anyway, fast forward. Support. He can barely walk on his own. He had before he joined the hub, he had a motorised cart and everything. The guy, I don't know his age exactly, be about 40. He runs. He does burpees. Now he's lost. I'm sure he's lost 4.5 stone. He looks an absolute machine, and he can do everything in that gym. He's like, he has to watch his balance and things like that, but he's fantastic, and that to me, truly, truly inspiring, and proud to have him there. Proud, because he probably wouldn't have got a chance anywhere else. Like he wouldn't, you know.
He's just been another number on a spreadsheet somewhere, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and it's just fantastic. And them are
the moments, mate, aren't they?
Mate. It gets me wanting to cry thinking about it, because it's just that. Yeah. It's just that cool, you know. And he's got a few friends now that come to the hub, and they're straight in. You don't even need to tell them how much it is, because if Paul says it's good and he's done it and he's got
the value attached to it, it's valuable, isn't it?
So I think we find a lot of our clients that come in know about it, have friends that have already done it, and it gets easier. You know, that side of it gets easier when people are selling it for you. You know, a business is hard when you're having to try and convince people. You know it's going to be good, but you still got to convince it. Yeah. When you've got the transformations, the pictures, the real people.
Yeah, it's so hard, isn't it, to actually... I was saying this, like, you know, mate of mine's got like a farm, and another mate of mine's got like a spin studio, boxing studio. It's so hard for them to market what they've got. Yeah. Because you cannot tell someone it feels like to train in a group where people around you and you're feeling their energy when you're in the darkest, like you're in the fucking deep end, but these people are like, it's how the fuck do you sell something like that on? You've got to go to it, like, before and after fucking 6-week program, trick them to get in, and then they realise what they're part of, and they're like, all right, I'm not going anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. And then once
it's like, oh,
can you walk away from this now? They can't. Most people can't. But yeah, it's fantastic. I love being part of it. Like, you know, I don't train that often. I'm more into the bodybuilding side of training now, but I like being in that place every day. I like the energy. I like jumping in, doing a bit of the sessions with the lads. And it's just, I'm blessed to be part of it ultimately. Like, James saw something in me to offer me the chance. I knew it was the right thing to do, and then here we are, and then who knows, like, literally I've no boundaries on what I'll go to and where we'll stop with this. It's just nuts, innit?
It's fucking sick, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
You're flowing with it, aren't you? You're just flowing with life.
Yeah, 3 years ago, did my level 2.
Not, I fucking need to do this, or I need to do that, I'm stressing about where the money, you know what I mean? It's like, you've just like been given a gift to kind of say, life's short as a motherfucker, and I'm just going to roll with it and be positive every single day. You're kind
of a preacher, aren't you, realistically? Because people are just, I don't know, changing their lives, and you're lucky enough to be part of it. Like, literally just lucky enough to be part of it.
Yeah, you always say that leaders create great leaders, and like you're definitely one of them, mate. You're creating like leaders within your hub, aren't you? They're members who are becoming, helping other people, inspiring other people. You know, James is so inspirational. He's inspired you, then you inspire these people, and they inspire. I'm just like, fuck, that's what life's all about, man, isn't it? Yeah. Just fucking connection.
Well, yeah, like I say, I'm sat talking to you today, and 4 years ago I was stood in a footing on a building site, up to my knees in shite every day at my job. And now, you know, I wouldn't have dreamt of being on a podcast or even telling people about my life, because just telling them what I'm doing around there is not inspiring. So, no, I'm blessed, and if I'm honest, I wouldn't change the last few years. Like, the journey's been good. It's not always easy, you know. It sounds amazing, like it's easy thing. Well, you know, running a business, you've got days, but I just like to get stuff done. Like,
I've got loads of people around me, mate, just like, but fucking, it's so lonely at times. I'm sat in bed with my own fucking thoughts. It's like, I'm fucking here on my own fucking, like, going down rabbit holes. But I think I always say it's just like fucking life sucks, but there's some fucking beautiful moments in it, man. And I'm just like, oh.
I know. And I'd say the most, you know, bad things never last, neither do good things. So enjoy the good times, ride the bad times, and then there's another day. It's just another day, isn't it?
Just another day, mate.
Just another day, but yeah, no, life's good right now.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. I hope everybody gets so much value from this. How can people follow you on Instagram?
Just follow Transform Hub Filed, or any of the men's hubs. You can follow Jed Moss 60 on Insta for me.
Jed Moss 60, go and follow our Jed.
And
he's going to be doing more videos on there.
Don't do enough of it for sure. But thanks again.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye.
Marner, what, you're branding with the best. Marner, what, you're branding with the best. Marner, what, you're branding with the best. Marner, what, you're branding with the best.